Hello, my name is Chris, and today I'd like to offer some quick tips and suggestions on how to avoid that one cigarette. You probably know the exact one cigarette that I'm talking about. So when we're going through our quit journey, we're trying to quit smoking, and just having one cigarette seems so tempting. Maybe we can smell the smoke and we're still in that stage of our quit when that cigarette smoke smells so good. Because let's face it, it does in the early days, and it triggers a craving like, oh, just one. Or maybe it even feels completely necessary. Something has stressed us out, upset us, caused us all kind, some kind of upset, and we're thinking, I just need one cigarette to get through this moment, just one. And then all this temptation, this compulsion to have this one cigarette creates a sense of conflict within us. Because on the one hand, we feel really drawn, really compelled to smoke a cigarette. And yet on the other hand, we really want to quit smoking, and we don't want to smoke that cigarette. We want to maintain our quit. And this sense of conflict makes things even worse. It heightens our anxiety, it heightens our stress levels. We're kind of like, I want it and I don't want it and I don't know what to do, and I'm so anxious right now and I just can't sit with myself, and it's driving me crazy. And the more anxious and the more crazy I feel, the more compelled I have to just say, F it, I am going to have that smoke. What I'm going to talk about today is a few suggestions that you might find helpful if you find yourself in that situation, sort of how to get yourself out of that situation. Before I get into today's videos, two quick things. Thank you again for everyone who came to hang out with us on the monthly live stream last week. I had an awesome time. It was probably my favourite live stream ever so far. We're going to do another one here on YouTube on Saturday, November the 27th at 6:30 PM UK time. It's always the last Saturday of the month at 6:30. It would be great to see you. I'm also starting a second monthly live stream exclusively in our Finding Freedom Facebook group. The date for that is next Wednesday, November the 10th at 9:30 PM UK time. So if you're already a member of Finding Freedom, I'll post reminders and stuff, and I'm sure my friend Vicky will as well. If you're not in the group, you can join us, facebook.com/groups/findingfreedom1, and I'll be there again to answer questions, talk about quitting smoking, celebrate your successes with you too, because I love hearing how you're doing on your journey. That's next week. Today we are talking about avoiding that one cigarette. So let's get into this. I think it's important to remember that it really is only one cigarette that we ever need to stay away from, no matter how far we are along in our journey. Because even those of us who smoke so much never smoked an entire packet of cigarettes all at once. It's always just that one cigarette. It's that one cigarette that at absolute best may make us feel a little bit crummy about it. Oh my goodness, I was trying to quit smoking and I had one cigarette, and now I feel bad and I wish I hadn't have done it, and now I'm going to have to get my quit back on track. That does happen. I've been doing this for a long time now, and of all the countless people that I've spoken to and all the countless people that I've read their posts in Finding Freedom, I've never yet met anybody who said, I was quitting smoking and I just had one cigarette and I really enjoyed it, and then I never smoked another cigarette again. It doesn't tend to happen like that. It tends to be, I'll smoke this one cigarette and I might get like a molecule of relief from what I'm feeling, but then I kind of wish I hadn't done it really, because it wasn't that great. But at worst, that one cigarette leads to, well, I've had that one cigarette, now I might as well have another and another and another, and now here I am, I'm a smoker again, and now I have to figure out this quit all from scratch. So it's only one cigarette that we ever have to stay away from. And I think the most helpful thing that we can do, regardless as to what is going on for us that is making us want, crave, need that cigarette, is to go somewhere else and take ourselves physically out of the situation. You know, again, it might be that you're around somebody who is smoking and it looks tempting and it smells tempting. The longer we stay in that situation, the more tempting it's going to be, the closer we're going to get to say, do you know what, mate, can I just have a cig off you, please? If it's a stressful situation, if we're, you know, in a place and something is causing us anxiety or stress, the more we spend in that situation, again, the closer we're going to get to just saying, F this, I need a smoke, and getting it done. So we need to physically just remove ourselves from that situation so that we can think clearly. Because when we're in the situation, all we're thinking about is the situation and how it's making us feel and how it's making us want to smoke. So leave the room, go outside. Worst case scenario, go to the bathroom and stay in there for a minute. Just take ourselves out of the situation. Take a nice, deep, slow breath. If you need to, take 2 nice, deep, slow breaths. First thing that's going to do is calm us down just a little bit so that we can think clearly. I've said this many times when people say, Chris, what's with a weird breathing thing you do in your videos? It's because I get very, very excited when I'm talking and I get carried away. And sometimes I just need to center and ground myself with a nice, deep, slow breath. So do that. But it also has a double benefit when it comes to quitting smoking, is that if we are filling our lungs with that nice, fresh, clean air, if we are able to feel that all the oxygen can get all the way down and it's not trapped because our lungs are so clogged with tar and crap, it reminds us of like, oh yeah, this feels good, and if I smoke again it's not going to feel as good, and I enjoy feeling the way I feel as a non-smoker. Even though I don't enjoy feeling the way I feel right at this moment, in the grand, this is one moment out of millions of others before and after. So I'm talking about getting through, avoiding one cigarette. What I'm really talking about is getting through one moment. And that's all this is one moment. One moment where you've taken yourself out of the situation, calmed, centered, and are ready for the next thing. And the next thing might be to ask some questions. If you've taken yourself out of the situation, you've taken that deep, lovely breath, and you're still like, I feel a tiny bit calmer, but still really want to smoke, and it's not even a physical thing anymore, it's just that my mind is obsessed. I have this conflict going on where I want to smoke and don't want to smoke, and I don't know what to do. I think asking some questions can be helpful. And the first question to ask might be, okay, what do I really want in this moment? What is it that I actually want? Do I want a cigarette? Do I want to hold it in my hands and light it up and breathe in that smoke and do all that stuff? Do I want to taste the cigarette? Or is what I really want simply to not, let me try that sentence again. Is what I really want to simply, I can't word this. Why can't I word this sentence? I'm so sorry. Let me try this again. It doesn't sound right in my head. Do I really want a cigarette, or do I really want to not feel the way that I feel right now? There you go. Nailed it. Is the thing that I actually want simply to feel different than how I feel now? And there's my phone. This video's going so well, isn't it? I have a feeling that if we ask that question, the answer we're going to come up with is, actually, I don't necessarily want the physical cigarette. I just want to not be craving the cigarette. I just want to not be anxious or stressed or upset. I just want to not have this temptation. And if we reach that conclusion, there are more questions that we can ask. And I think the next question that we can ask is, well, what can I do instead? If I only want to change the way that I feel, there's surely like a million other things that I can do besides smoking. And I think this is where actually planning for our quit and getting those contingency plans in place, it proves so invaluable. Because sometimes, we may be in that moment when we're in this sense of conflict of like, okay, yeah, all right, I understand what you're saying, Chris. I don't actually want to smoke. I just want to not feel like this. But I don't know what to do. The only thing I've ever done has been smoking. And the only thing I can think of at this moment to change the way that I feel is to smoke. So I don't know what to do. And I think this is, like I said, if we plan for this, if we plan for these eventualities, we're in a much better place to deal with it. We can literally sit down and make a list of things. What helps me when I'm feeling bad? Is it going for a walk? Is it doing exercise? Is it turning music on and having a bit of a dance? You can probably dance better than that. I don't even know what that is. Do I need to clean? Do I need to phone a friend? Do I need to watch a video, go in the group? Do I need to do arts? Do I need to bake? What is the thing that helps me to change the way that I'm feeling and feeling good and start feeling good? We've already planned for this, and even if we have a list on a piece of paper or on our phones, we can go, okay, yeah, I don't actually want to smoke. I want to feel different. I don't quite know what to do in this moment, but I know that I've prepared for this. I knew this might happen, and I knew that I could get through this. So even though I am experiencing, I don't like the word weakness because I don't feel that any of us are weak, but even though I'm feeling that sense of weakness now that I might succumb to a cigarette, there was a part of me that knows that I am stronger. There is a part of me that knows that I am capable of doing this. There is a part of me that knows that I can get through anything without a cigarette, and I planned for that, and I'm ready, and I owe it to that part of me to not have this cigarette. So I'm going to get my list out, and I'm going to go and do at least one thing on that list. And what if all that's not working? What if the thing is, I'm stressed, I'm upset, I'm triggered, I am tempted to have a smoke because I've just smelled a cigarette and it's driving me crazy. I don't feel like I want to do anything else. I feel like I want to smoke. The next question then is, well, okay, if I smoke this one cigarette, what is actually going to happen? And you may want to close your eyes and visualize and play the movie through. Well, okay, I'll light up a cigarette and I'll smoke it. And for about 3 to 5 minutes, I'll feel a little bit better. I won't be craving nicotine because I'll be getting nicotine. I won't have this inner conflict because I'll have made a decision and I'm smoking the cigarette. for 3 to 5 minutes that it takes to have that cigarette. And if we're really desperate for it, it might be even quicker, because we might just, and it's done. That's one 3 to 5 minute moment, and that's literally all that's going to happen in terms of anything being positive. That's the absolute best thing that can happen for a cigarette, is we get 3 to 5 minutes of relief, followed by, fuck, I just smoked a cigarette and I didn't want to do that because I want to quit smoking. Followed by, fuck, now what am I going to do? Am I going to have another cigarette? Now I feel bad, I feel maybe a little bit guilty, a little bit full of remorse, full of regret. Now now I might as well smoke another cigarette, and now I'm going to go and get a packet of cigarettes, and then I'm just going to become a smoker again. And that's what's going to happen. And is that what I really want? Am I prepared to sacrifice my quit, to sacrifice the hard work that I've done so far, to sacrifice my health and my happiness and my freedom and all of that stuff for 3 to 5 minutes of doing something which, let's be honest, I've said it's 3 to 5 minutes of relief. How much relief really is it? Because do we really grab that cigarette and spend that time with that cigarette being really mindful about it and trying to enjoy it? Or do we just smoke it mindlessly, not even being consciously aware of anything that it might be doing for us? Just this mindless sense of, well, okay, that I wasn't craving, but I wasn't really enjoying it or getting anything from it. It was just a thing that I did and now cannot undo, and have to get my mind back on track. Do I really want all that, or do I really want to just get through this moment that I know that I am capable and strong enough to get through? And if all that still isn't working, one last thing you might want to try is to play the delay game. I want a cigarette, I need a cigarette, I'm going to have a cigarette, or at least I think I'm going to have a cigarette. But do I have to actually have it now? Can I wait 10 minutes? Can I wait 5 minutes and then reevaluate whether I am actually going to go and have this cigarette? I was sharing in the live stream about this last Saturday, not to do with smoking, but for me to do with drinking, when I was very early on getting sober, like literally days sober. My last drink had been in this bar. I was in a foreign country and I had to take my passport as my ID, and I got so drunk that I left my wallet and my passport behind, and then somebody called up and said, hey, we found your stuff, and then I had to go and get it. So right then I knew I was strong enough to go into this bar and get my wallet and my passport, but then when I came out I had this feeling of, okay, I've got money and ID, I could totally go and drink now and nobody would notice. And then I had this conflict of, I could, but I'm not sure that I want to, because I want to get sober and I don't know what to do. So I made a decision. I didn't make a decision to drink, I didn't make a decision not to drink. I made a decision to go for a walk around the block. And I figured if I just go for a walk around the block, and I don't necessarily have to think about drinking the whole time, just as you don't necessarily have to think about smoking the whole time, but if I walk around the block once, and then when I get back to this spot, then I can make a decision about whether I'm going to drink or not drink. So I did that, and by the time I walked around the block once, I was like, I'm just going to go home. I'm not going to drink, I'm just going to go home. And we can try that. And if walking around the block once doesn't quite work, you then have 3 choices to make. I can smoke, I can not smoke, or I can walk around the block again. And at some point if you're tired of walking around the block and you decide to go and smoke, you know, there's not much else I can say if you are absolutely determined to smoke. For all of the videos that I make, there is nothing that I can do or say to stop someone having a cigarette if they are determined to have it. But if there is that conflict, we can delay that decision and constantly, reevaluate every 5-10 minutes. And, until we get to that mindset of, yeah, actually I don't want this cigarette at all. In fact, I've just been for a walk and now I feel so much better. I hope that has been helpful to you. I hope it has given you something to think about at the very least. I hope that you continue to do amazingly well on your quit journey. Please do let me know in the comments how you are doing on your journey. I am the worst person at responding to comments, I admit that, but I do read every single one and I love hearing how you are getting on your journey. Before I go, a couple of quick things to tell you about. There is, of course, the obligatory plug of this. It is called Quit Smoking and Be Happy. It is available in print and ebook form from Amazon. Pretty much wherever you are in the world, if you have an Amazon, if Amazon is available in your country, this book should be available in your country. And if it's not, ping me, let me know, I'll figure something out for you. The other thing is just a reminder that I do offer one-to-one quit smoking support sessions that we can do on Zoom. We can do them all on, over the internet, or if you're close to me, you can come and hang out with me in my therapy room and we'll work together that way. For information about that, you can just email me, chris@cjstherapy.com, and we'll go from there. Again, the next live stream is Saturday the 27th. The Finding Freedom live stream is Wednesday the 10th. Finding Freedom is facebook.com/groups/findingfreedom1. And with that, I'll stop talking and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of your support. I will see you next time.